But I want to get back to the dating and the love thing, because
let's go there. Yeah. So tell me your experience.
No, I will not. No.
No,
I will. Just give me a second, buddy.
Take your time.
Like you said, love.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
And you've probably been in love more than that.
In my life, or
in your life, maybe.
Yeah. I've been in love by before that 3 times.
Now, wild concept. Wild, right?
Yeah.
Historically freighted like no other concept.
Yeah.
My goodness, what does a person like you make of a word and a concept like love?
Funny, I had a revelation about it relatively recently. I actually did a private.
I'm very proud of this question, by the way.
Yeah.
This is one of my best questions. So I hope you do well with the answer.
Okay. So I did a little podcast on it instead of blogging.
On love.
Sometimes I don't like to write, so I'll just speak into a mic.
Yeah.
So I did one on love.
Oh.
And I didn't popularize it because I had to figure out how I felt about it. But it all came from a quote somebody had put on the Twitter from Eric Fromm, who I've never read. Mm-hmm. I know the name, but it doesn't mean more than that. I'm not going to pretend to know anything more than that. And it was something about love is not a feeling, it's an action.
Okay.
And I found that that's been true in all my relationships, that for the most part, I'm good at love as a verb. Love to me is a movement of, this comes a lot from my Kierkegaardian training. Kierkegaard was my first major love. And it's this move to the infinite. It's this move to a refraction of all the sort of banalities of the everyday through the infinite. So when I first I've only been married once, and I married my fantastic, brilliant, beautiful, now ex-wife. And we said we would never live together without being married. And we did. The day we moved in together, it's the day we ran up the street and eloped. Because we both knew that day-to-day life as a human being is repulsive. And at some point, you're going to just hate the way the person breathes. Right? You just are. Right? I get annoyed with my kid sitting here. I love my kid more than anything. I rip my eyes out for my kid.
They smell. They smell.
I'm just like, dude, stop breathing like that.
They're messy.
Yeah.
They breathe wrong.
It's part of just being
and the way they
proximity to
eat's
people.
disgusting. Yeah,
It's disgusting.
No, totally.
So what do you do with that? So if it's not refracted through the infinite, if your horizon point is the finite, then okay, well, I don't like the way she breathes, I'm out of here. But if I'm refracted through the infinite, then so she breathes funny. Right?
Okay.
And so I was married for 14 years, very happily.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a constant movement. Love is an internal movement. It's Kierkegaard's language, right? It's not about love, but about faith. It's an internal movement in which you move from the finite to the infinite and back. That's how he defines the night of faith. His apogee of life, of existence. Is the person who walks through the banality of the everyday without disdaining it.
Okay.
Because those are the monks. Those are the people who say, no, I'm going to disdain this life. I'm going to take an ascetic vow,
Yep.
and I'm not going to speak, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to fuck.
Okay.
He's like, okay, but he kind of doesn't like those people. The people who make that move to the infinite, everything is through the infinite, and then come back to the finite. And then with each step they take, they're in the finite and the infinite. They don't mind, they relish washing dishes. Mm-hmm. Not because that's the end in itself, but because that's something too. And then the infinite is a kind of horizon point of infinity, of this endless regress. So that the micro sort of fetishy fucking kvetches about this or that action pale. Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't like the way she breathes. I see her sleeping and she's breathing, and then if my horizon is the cosmos receding across all time and place, what's my problem?
What if she voted for Clinton? What if she's? But you have to choose someone. Uh-huh. You're choosing someone in particular. Maybe some people, but right?
Yeah.
So, in other words, you can apply this idea of the infinite to friendships, to anybody.
Absolutely,
right? Okay.
And in fact, it's the same. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, love is choosing a particular person.
Or it's not that it's choosing as much as it's making a move. So it's a kind of choice, but I don't want to make it so rational. Well, choice has that kind of sense, but it is because a lot of it's I'm responding to it. I'm attracted as much to my male friends as my female friends. Unless I want to fuck them, but I'm attracted to them. I want to be around them. I like being in their world.
Mostly
right?
me.
Yeah.
But how do you come to be? It's a choice. How do you come to choose a particular person, or what's
saying a little bit of it's a middle voice, right? Because it's now if I was being purely rational about it, I've chosen badly, right? 2 times in a row, right? I basically in love with 2 women, both of them ended up dumping me, right? Or just not wanting really to pursue it with me. Because I think.
Well, how do you think you come to that point? What happens with you to get you to that point where it's that? Thank you. I finally got the question out.
Well, I feel like you size it up. So I wrote a piece on this a long time ago for Thought Catalog, and I was writing for them a long time ago, and I was like, it doesn't really matter who you're with, and I truly believe that. That it's because it's the internal movement. It's not about the one. It's about I could take any woman I've dated, pretty much my entire life, and they got their good things, they got their bad things. If I really got to do a pro and con list, it doesn't work. It's really about making that internal move and then making the internal move back. It doesn't really fucking matter, right? All these women, they're all smart and clever and sexy in their own different ways.
What if they love traveling?
Yeah. So then it gets down to this very practical thing. That's what happens. So here's what happens.
You're not going to the infinite with her.
Here's what happens.
You're not even going traveling with her.
Here's what happens to me is this is both 2 women in a row, the 2 women I've loved since I've married, both said to me at some point, well, you're not really the activity partner. I really want an activity partner. You're not an activity partner. Right. And I realize they have no idea what love is because what the fuck do you care? You're not fracking through the infinite. You really want an activity partner? You're fucking kidding me? Like, I'll do some things with you because we are in the finite. So let's say I go camping with you 1 in every 5 times. The other 4 times, go with someone fucking else. Are you going to sit and read Nietzsche with me? Really? You're going to sit here and fucking do MDA and we're going to talk about the fine points of Deleuze while you lick my anus? Like, what the fuck? That's my thing. Your thing is going camping. I expect you to do it sometimes,
that's your thing
but
too?
not all the
That's
time.
your thing too.
But it's like, I don't understand. And if you can't give up that holding on to that finite need, your horizon isn't there. And so those people, I made the move, but they couldn't make the move back.
Which philosopher goes best with rimming is what I want to know. Let's nail that down.
They're all sort of didn't do that well. I don't think
I let you drink on the podcast, and this is what happens. Jesus Christ, Daniel. So love is, it's a choice though. It's choosing someone.
It's a movement.
It's a movement with a particular person though.
Yes, it's an internal movement with that.
And you have no idea why you happen to choose those 2 women. You must.
Yeah, you get some. I think part of
There's
it
some
is
pattern in you, something you understand about yourself, was it just emergent? Was it just spontaneous?
I think some of them there's this little bit of physical chemistry, and although both very different dynamics psychosexually, but both have some sort of appeal in the psychosexual realm, some sort of attract where you just feel. I mean,
they're just like your mother.
One of the figures I'm drawn to is magnetism and gravity, right? These sort of figures of attraction, right? That science loves, but I don't think they explore nearly thoroughly enough. The way 2 bodies just go towards each other, they just do. Why do I read Deleuze, but I find Frege unreadable?
Right.
I don't know.
You can't explain it.
It's rhythmic. It's harmonic convergence. It's sine waves.
And are you not interested in trying to explain it?
That is my explanation.
Is what?
That it's a question of flow and rhythm. You get in a flow, and if someone that doesn't flow, it's dissonant.
But you don't want to explain the cause. You're not interested in explaining causality.
In some sort of psychoanalytic sense, I think that's a false. I think it's a red herring.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think the reasons we're attracted to some people and not others, even often at our own detriment. I mean, one of the women I was in love with was terrible for me. I mean, just not nice to me at all. It was sort of terrible.
Been there, yeah.
But you feel a draw. You just do that, and I didn't care because I was in that rhythm, and I was willing to ride it all the way out. I didn't need to rashly step back. I wish she was more supportive of me. I wish she. I didn't give a shit because there's another dimension of flow, and we could psychoanalyze it, but psychoanalysis is such a limited rubric.
Isn't it just odd, though? I mean, I'm going to sound like really pedestrian here, but isn't it just odd that, of all the thousands or however many women and men who have come across us, come just a handful, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, right? We have this very particular, very specific set of feelings about that we do not experience in any other way with anyone else ever.
Yeah.
and it is consistent with what the culture tells us is love.
I see where you're headed, but
I don't know what's going on in my head when I fall in love. When I fall in love, it feels like what the culture says is falling in love. I feel like I'm doing a normal thing, maybe even a good thing.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering how much of that is causing me to have these feelings, right?
That's great. Yeah, sure.
Does that
very
make
good? Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's really good. And it complicates
and it just
shit. Yeah.
it just makes me, well, it fucks me up, right? It just makes me skeptical about what I'm doing here and whether this feeling is really, and I
think you just need to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
So that's something I do actually believe. I don't need some fucking female friend to tell me that.
But actually, you told me the other day when
Yeah.
I called you up and I was like fucked up about women, and you were like, go inside, and you meant go internally. And you and I both said the Buddhists are right about everything, right? Just it's,
because imagine
it's
that. It's
the
a
Zen
great
idea
thing to be in a relationship, to seek a relationship because I have a lack versus seeking a relationship out of plenitude.
Yeah, which is right, which is common relationship advice nowadays, which is actually very solid, and we agree with that.
And there's something very beautiful about that.
And you and I both are very inspired by Zen and Buddhism and these insights, and that's right. When the people in the relationship are bothering you, go inside.
Yeah.
The call's coming from inside.
And if you
out.
find yourself in this position, where I have found myself here, where I'm like, I need ego confirmation.
Yeah.
Back to this ego thing, right? I need confirmation. I need to be loved. I need to be, and for me, a lot of it's desire. I have a lot of physical self-hatred. I have a lot of self-loathing, and I want to be desired. And at least I fuck. Even though the sex might not even be good, even though
someone wants to fuck Someone wants to fuck me.
And imagine finding your value in an economy of desire.
Right.
That's
nice.
It's easy and difficult, but it's also so draining. It's not an economy that fuels your vitality. Right, at desperation, you're spending so much energy seeking the thing to then fill you. Right, it's a little bit of luxury of being now in my 50s, and being like, what the fuck do I need? And at my best, I am that. I'm not always that. But at my best, at my best being at my healthiest, feeling healthiest, physically healthiest, psychologically healthiest, vital, self-contented, I'm not, we talked about earlier, approaching women.
Yeah.
Right? And the nerve of that.
Like I wouldn't do it ever.
Right. And there's a point at which one can be dependent on it. But imagine not being dependent on whether they say yes or no.
I know. The men who do that, I'm simultaneously sort of disgusted by them, and also in awe of them, and also envious of them. Yeah. The handful of men, and it's really a handful, right, who actually approach women in bars like cold. Yeah. I have never done that in my life. I can't imagine ever doing it. Thank God for dating apps, right? But yeah, that's something. Well, Nietzsche certainly would approve of this, that kind of behavior, right? And why not, right? What's to lose?
What's to lose?
Exactly.
And if you have that kind of self-contentment, I'm just like, you look nice. You want to get a drink. I don't know, maybe you're a douche, maybe I'm a douche, but how do we know until we get a drink?
Yeah.